What is good, everybody? Cliche, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How you doing, Tevin?
I'm doing well. I want to say this. I want to give a big, giant middle finger to depression.
Okay.
F depression. I recently just overcame it. I was depressed for like a good 2.5 weeks, and honestly, it started when I got COVID. And I feel like COVID just did something to me spiritually, like sucked the life out of me. You know what I mean? Like my body wasn't bad. Like I lost my taste for like a day or two and my smell for like a day or two. But that ish really just took the life out of me. I was so unmotivated to work. Even like our last recording, I was so ready to go.
Right.
And just like rest. That's all I want to do, rest and stuff. And I feel like that's when I knew I was like depressed, because when I just want to sleep and I'm just so unmotivated about life, that's when I feel like I'm like depressed or whatever. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're going to be talking about today, depression, and the different types of depression, and how do you deal with it? How do you battle it? I mean, how do you cope with it, and how do you conquer it? Mm-hmm. So let's start with you, since you're here.
Okay.
So let me ask you this. When was the last time you was depressed?
The last time I was depressed.
And how do you know you depressed?
Well, I'm not gonna say when I was depressed, because I feel like that's just nobody's business. But for me, depression, it comes and goes, and usually that's how depression is.
Right.
So, for some people, usually depression hits. The last time I felt like I was depressed, I know for a fact I was depressed, was when my grandfather passed.
Yeah.
In 2016.
Right.
Not to say I haven't been depressed since then, but that's when I knew it was like actually heavy and real.
Right.
So
how did you, like when you reacted to your grandpa's death, how did you know that was depression?
You saying it's 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 depression. I feel like it's depression for how long you feel depressed.
Right.
If you feel like you've been depressed for a couple of months straight.
Was yours a couple months?
I feel like that could be for anybody who loses a loved one. Yeah, some people would be depressed for years.
Yeah.
So that's not shocking.
Yeah, that is true. That's true. Like when I lost my grandma, I think mine was for a little while too, like a couple months during school, Mm-hmm. So imagine being depressed, but you still a teenager in high school trying to still manage that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And I made a post on Facebook recently, yesterday actually, I believe, and that had a lot of traction about how do you deal with depression? So how do you deal with depression?
I try not to when I know I'm depressed.
Right.
I try to stay in good habits.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to sleep too long. Try not eat too much bad food.
Right.
Watch what you watch, and when I say watch what you eat,
right,
watch what you consume. I mean, like on your phone and TV as well. Don't watch so much negative stuff. Try to watch some comedy, something,
something that give you some light.
They'll give uplift your spirits. Don't be
Yeah,
watching
yeah.
horror film. Don't be watching don't
Depressed trying to watch horror films.
Don't watch Pursuit of Happiness.
Oh my God. Oh, you calling me out, because that's what I do when I'm depressed. I'll watch that because it's so motivational though.
It's motivational, but it's so much grit.
Yeah,
and it's tugging at your heartstrings, and it's
messing
with your psyche.
When he come out crying,
yeah, I know, and it killed. I know, because I cried.
I cried. I shed a tear every freaking time that scene, because it's just like you just finally win one. Mm-hmm. You finally have that day, and excuse me, that was my stomach. I don't know if that was like the energy drink or like hunger.
You feeling
Yeah. And I want to say, like, for me, depression hits me differently based on where I'm at, like in life type ish. You know what I mean? So for example, like if I'm having, like, if I had some really good days, like my week's been good, I've been having some good months, not really having any bad news or, any bad funks or whatever. And when depressed hits me, it's really like, okay, I'm gonna meditate and get myself back balanced in a day or two, and I'm right back fine. But if prior to depression, I've had some bad days, received some bad news, or I got some things coming up that's giving me like anxiety or something like that, then sometimes I let depression take over, yeah, and I just let it flow out of me. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really do nothing to really attack it and make it go away. I just let it just flow out of me. So do you do that as well? Do it hits you like that? Like, depending like on if you had some good days, you had some positives before it hits?
Yeah, it always depends on how your life is leading up to you actually realizing how depressed you are.
Exactly, yeah.
So yes, I believe that does play a factor.
Right.
When my depression hits, it's I want to say like it's mind numbing. So everybody's depression is different.
Right.
So for some people it's mind numbing. For some that you cannot feel nothing. Like you wake up and it's like a real out of body experience.
Yeah.
For some people, like I know some people, they haven't had a dream in years.
Right.
They cannot remember a dream,
Right.
and that's not good. Because that means you're not getting good quality sleep, and you're not fully rested. It's too much stress on you.
Right.
Stuff like that. It all. So I just know when I feel like I have the weight of the world on my shoulders, and I cannot get no rest. That's when I realize it. For me.
That part, yes.
When you realize you cannot get rest,
Yeah.
I believe that should tell you something.
Right. So let me ask this. Let's go a little deeper. So have you ever been so depressed that you wanted to? Have you ever been so depressed that you thought about like committing suicide or anything like that before?
Yeah, but honestly, that's normal.
Right.
It's normal to feel like that.
Right.
To just like, I just don't want to wake up tomorrow. I think where it gets to be where it's the real problem is if once you start trying to plan it. Once you start trying to plan it and you start thinking in my head, I could just do this real quick.
Yeah.
What's to eat? That's when it's the real problem.
Right.
Because people say that all the time. Like, I just want to go to sleep. I don't want to deal with this no more.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I've had that before. Actually, I've been depressed to the point where I thought about ending my life, and I can go back. That was way back in like 2000. I'm gonna say 13 or 14. It was real bad, and I'm gonna get a little personal. It was real bad. I just got my own apartment with my sister and her boyfriend at the time, which is now her husband. Shout out to them too. And I lost my job. So I couldn't do anything with contributing to like my bills and rent and stuff like that. Cause we were splitting everything 3 ways or whatever. And then on top of that, me and my son's mom, shout out to her, we was real ugly at that time towards each other. And we had a physical altercation. And she put her hands on me. And at that time frame, it's like, I already don't like you. So if I see you, I'm gonna want to put my hands on you. So I didn't see my son for some months because I really wanted whatever we was beefing about and whatever that energy was, I really needed that to die down and get some space before we start interacting and co-parent again. So all of that had me depressed, man. And it was just, every day was just waking up, gaming, sleep, waking up, gaming, sleep. I barely want to eat. And then, like, the more days that went by, the more I was like, I'd rather just lay my soul to rest than deal with this ish. Because I wasn't seeing my son, and I felt like nobody. I felt like nothing. I wasn't being a man as a father. I wasn't being a man trying to hold down my own fort with my place and ish like that. And I thought about robbing a bank then I'm like, I ain't trying to do no jail.
Right. Like,
So
you be like, I can't really,
right,
I know him, I
right,
can't do this.
right. So I thought about ending my life because it's more like, and I feel like people who do it, who really makes that commitment to really plan it out and then act on it, I feel like it's levels too. I feel like it's an emotional level, mental level, and me being spiritual, I think is definitely the spiritual. And I think the spiritual is the that final say so. Because your mind is battling every day along with your emotions. And even then, it's more like some days it seems like a good idea. And some days it's like, maybe I was just tripping or just having a really bad day. But when you're going through so much spiritually and it's really tormenting your spirit, I feel like that's when your spirit kind of makes up its mind and kind of influence your other states and be like, okay, it's time to put this to rest. Because sometimes that's all you want to do. I'd rather just lay my soul to rest and deal with this ish. And I feel like that's where a lot of people, are nowadays. And even then, even like recently, I was almost getting to that point. Like, laying my soul to rest don't sound like a bad idea right now. Like, it almost got there. So for those who are going through that, you're not alone in that. And, we're here for you. We send out, love, encouraging words for you, man. You're here for a reason. We all here for a reason. So for us not to make that decision to end our own lives, we must have a purpose here. You know what I mean? We must have a purpose here. And I know, going back to the depressed thing, I know certain things that I do. Gaming helps me a lot. Meditating helps. And being around people with good energy helps.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, when my kids came over that weekend, they just put me in the best spirits. Like, I was in a funk, like a real bad funk before they came. And when they came, they really lifted my spirits because they're so funny and so goofy. And both of them together, seeing that love between them two, man, it's just so admiring. And it's like, looking at them, it's like, I can't go nowhere because they depend on me for so much and they rely on my presence in their life for so much and stuff like that. It's like, I got to shake this off for them. So they really, shout out to my kids, by the way, y'all. They really motivated me to get out this funk. So now I'm back better mentally, emotionally, and spiritually now. And I want to ask you, Cliche, do you have, like, when you're in that state of like depression or you feel like you're getting there, do you have like certain people you kind of want to be around that can kind of uplift your energy? Do you have that person or those kind of people in your life?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do. One person.
One?
Yeah.
Is a guy or lady?
It's a guy.
Oh.
Actually two. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Count my real close friend.
Yeah.
I talk to her more and
Right.
like we talk on the phone more, but I actually get to see him more just because of the schedule and whatever.
Right.
But when I really do need somebody to listen to me and to lean on, I can go to him. I can call her.
Right.
And I think that's what it is. If you can't get it out as well, it does build up, and after a while, it just does overflow.
Yeah, yeah.
Or you can like self-implode if you don't try to manage it.
Yeah.
And handle the depression and the symptoms, going on.
Right.
So it is important to have somebody you can talk to.
Right.
Or if you feel like you don't have anybody, find a good outlet. That's what I would recommend. I know I'm not a therapist. If you can't get into therapy or you can't find anybody to talk to, find a good outlet.
Yeah. Like painting or like yoga or something.
Yoga, reading.
Yeah. Oh, reading. Yeah, that's a good one.
I feel like a lot more people should read, but that's another topic.
Right.
Yoga, reading, going to the park. Like you said, painting, drawing.
Oh, definitely
Go
painting.
to the gym.
Yes, painting is so soothing, man.
I personally like yoga. So that's me.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. To piggyback off what you just said, yeah, finding a outlet is vital. during that time. Like, find something that brings life to you, because when you're in that state of depression, you're feeling lifeless at most of the time. So like, do something that's gonna bring some life into you. Like she said, yoga, nature, stuff like go hiking. If you're in Atlanta, go to Stone Mountain, or like one of those little nature
Feed your body
trails.
the good stuff.
Yeah, man.
If you know you need to eat healthy and that's gonna make you feel good,
Right.
buy the good healthy stuff that you actually want to eat.
Yeah.
LA looking at me crazy. No, I didn't.
I'm done, man. You did look over there though.
I didn't mean to. I just happened to look up. My bad.
Cliche be throwing some shots, but I love her for that though, man. But I'm done. I don't know if Cliche was doing all that though, but hey, I don't know. That's between y'all two. Whatever little, whatever this is, that's just y'all, man.
I like old people. Don't worry.
Old people.
Hey, this ain't my business, man. That's between y'all two. You owing her, so you just, that's it.
I'm just old.
That's it. The season, Cajun Creole season.
Cajun Creole, so I'm black and old.
Oh my God. But anyway, let's get this done first. Y'all can have this a little later. But honestly, do you have any closing remarks? Cause I'm kind of done here. I ain't gonna lie. What? I told you it's gonna be short and sweet.
How long has it been?
16 minutes.
I'm done.
You ready already? Well, we might as well at this point, the way we talking right now.
Yeah. I mean,
I know it was done. I know it was gonna be this short.
I had to get this out. Like, this came to me, like, when I told you we was gonna talk about this, I was actually depressed and I was struggling to come up with a topic to talk about. Then I got hit with depression, and I'm like, this is what we're gonna talk about. And I kind of wanted to break away from like talking about relationships and stuff like that, and get more in depth with like self stuff, like depression and like self things we battling daily and stuff like that. But for me, like I said, for those who going out there, going through depression, I'm sending a whole bunch of like love, positivity, encouraging words. You can make it through this. Your life is worth it. You are worth it. You got people out there who value you, who loves you and needs you on this earth. So if you're really thinking about having those thoughts, just think about your loved ones and think about yourself. Think about your life. Like, your life matters. That's all I gotta say. Anything else, Cliche?
Don't let depression win. If you
I like
if
that.
you feel like it's just
I like
to that
that.
point, please tell somebody, call the 1-800 suicide line,
Yeah.
but don't let it win.
Amen. And we're gonna drop the mic on that. I love y'all. Peace out.
Have a good one.